I'm on a quest to find cheap, high-protein options at every store and restaurant that I can this year. And in today's video, I'm at Target, specifically Super Target. They have a lot of food options. So let's go see what they have. And I'm gonna reveal the scam protein food options and the good protein options that you should be spending your money on. This is our first scam of the video, and you'll find it near all of the health products. And I wouldn't say this is a scam because it's super unhealthy for you, although it looks like it has fake sugar. But you only get 4 bars in each package, and each package is almost $10. So at $2.50 a bar, I absolutely cannot recommend these to you. And moving on down the row, I see one of the craziest protein items that I've ever seen, and I've only seen these at Target. Protein water? Like, how? There's 15 grams of protein per bottle, and again, you only get 4 per box. Let's take a look here. So, I don't know if you can see that, but these bottles are clear, and it's just water, whey protein, sodium, and that's it. And again, I wouldn't say these are super unhealthy for you, but they are expensive. So I would recommend that you just get like beef jerky, beef sticks, maybe even cook up some hard-boiled eggs to get your protein, because that is a lot cheaper than drinking this protein water. And I haven't tried it, but I doubt it tastes good because there is no flavor to it. Maybe I spoke too soon. Apparently they have these flavored ones for the same price, with natural flavor at least. They come in mixed berry, strawberry kiwi, and just unflavored. So this shelf is protein powder, all different flavors, and each bag is $40 freaking. This flavor has 24 grams of protein, which isn't bad. 0 grams of added sugar, so they're using fake sugar again. And it's just whey powder, and then the flavoring and the fake sugars. They have strawberries and cream, the creamy peanut butter chocolate, vanilla bean, and chocolate. I'm not against protein powder. I actually used to have it almost every day, but $40 is an absolute ripoff for such a small bag of protein powder. Get it from Costco or some other store. You're gonna get protein powder. Right here, as you walk into the store, they used to have somewhere around here like protein Pop-Tarts, protein cinnamon rolls, and it seems like they pulled them already. I really wish I had captured those before, but now it's just chips. But those protein breakfast items were mostly carb and sugar, and they were an absolute scam, replacing your sugary breakfast food with something that is more expensive and has protein in it, but essentially the same thing at its heart, is just not right. Now let's move on to some cheap, high protein options that aren't a scam and are actually good for you. At this store, I walk right into the deli, and that seems like a good place to start for looking for protein. So let's check it out. If you're looking for something quick that's already pre-cooked, the rotisserie chicken is always a good option at any store. The total price for chicken here is $5.49, and these are a little bit smaller than some other stores' chicken, but that's still a really good price. Some other rotisserie chickens. That is a big package of chicken. The total price is $8.38, so only $5 a pound. So the boneless, skinless chicken breasts are $5.49 a pound, but the thin slice boneless, skinless chicken breasts are $4.99 a pound, so that's interesting. The Tyson chicken wings are a little bit cheaper than that, but some of that weight is bone, so these probably aren't the best option. Now the Smart Chicken over here should be healthier for you. It says no antibiotics ever, and I do like that, but it is a little bit pricier, $5.99 a pound. So keep that in mind. And so far, the ground turkey is actually the cheapest out of all the poultry, $4.49 for 16 ounces. And it's also very lean, so you actually get more meat for that price. The rolls of 80% lean, 20% fat beef have 19 grams of protein per serving. And a serving size is 4 ounces. So a 1/4 pound hamburger, basically. And unfortunately, the healthier, or supposedly healthier, grass-fed beef is $8 a pound. This isn't a meat that I often think of, but pork chops are actually quite cheap. $5.89 a pound, and they have 23 grams of protein per serving. The best way to cook them is really to smoke them. If you cook them in a pan, they often turn out really dry. I'm looking at all the chicken nuggets and chicken tenders because I know that Costco and Walmart have chicken tenders that have quite a bit of protein, and they're actually still good for you. I don't think, if you're looking for high protein, any of these, the Tyson or the Good and Gather, are gonna help you achieve your protein goals. So 3 ounces of the Tyson buffalo style chicken strips only have 12 grams of protein, whereas 4 ounces of the other chicken strips that I was talking about have 23 grams of protein. I really want to call this one a scam, this whole shelf of milkshakes, especially since it's $3.99 per bottle. A bottle is only 14 ounces, but they do have an insane amount of protein, like the Elite, which I think is a little bit more expensive. Has 42 grams of protein per bottle, which is more than a cheeseburger has. I'd say your best value is probably to go with the Elite kind and get a lot more protein for only an extra, what is it, $1.50? I'm not exactly sure where all the protein in these comes from, because I don't see whey powder in the ingredients. I guess the filter low-fat grade A milk means that they filter out like most of the fat and it's just whey that's left, because there are not 42 grams of protein and only 14 ounces of low-fat milk. For your breakfast every morning, you've got to pick up some whole milk. Whole milk has 8 grams of protein per cup, and they also highly recommend to anyone in all of these videos that you get the shredded cheese, whether it be Mexican, Colby Jack, or cheddar, because they don't have like a lot of protein per serving, but it's a really easy and delicious way to add protein to lots of different meals like tacos, eggs. You can just put it on rice, honestly, and have it as a side to something else. Their Good and Gather cheese is $6.99 a bag, and that gets you 2 pounds. These yogurts on the surface seem kind of cheap, $1.89 for 20 grams of protein, but if you think about it, an egg, which I think costs 25 to 50 cents depending on like the type of egg and where you get it, has 6 grams of protein. So if you have 4 eggs, that's 24 grams, and that's only gonna cost you around $1 to $2. Same thing with these little protein shakes, although they do seem like they're a better deal than the other ones earlier in this video. Just be aware of how much sugar is in the yogurt, and if it says it's 0 sugar, be wary of that, because that means that they're using fake sugar, and that can be bad for you. I know some people think it's gross, but I kind of like cottage cheese. The Good and Gather is the cheapest here. It says excellent source of protein, and that does hold true. There are 12 grams of protein in half a cup, and for that price of $2.99, you get 1.5 pounds. We're finishing with probably my favorite high protein item that you can get at any grocery store. The eggs. I mean, they're kind of boring, but they are cheaper than any other breakfast, and they're really good for you. Like I said earlier, there are 6 grams of protein in every egg, and they're 25 to 50 cents per egg. 18 count for $2.99. That's actually a really good price. You can get a dozen for $1.99. But always remember to check each case of eggs to make sure there aren't any cracked ones, and if there are, to move them to the other cases and take good eggs from those. So Target certainly has some absolute scam products that you should absolutely stay away from, but it also has a lot of cheap, high protein options that are totally legitimate and that I recommend that you try. I most recommend the eggs, obviously, and the rotisserie chicken. I think those are both really good deals with really good amounts of protein. And also remember that not everything that says that super high protein is actually truly high protein. But a lot of things that don't make any mention of how high in protein they are can actually be great sources of protein, like the eggs and the chicken. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And at the end of this year, I will be doing a video where I summarize the best protein options from every restaurant and store that I go to. So make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out on that. And I'll see you in the next video.